Oh my word.
Oh my word.
Oh my word.
Oh my word. Really? Did that really happen?
Am I introducing this one?
So,
Am I introducing this one?
so it'll get you and it'll get him.
Okay. Am I introing this one?
You can do if you would like to introduce this one. That's entirely fine. Isn't it warm?
Michael, you can walk through.
You can walk past Michael, so you don't
You're
get in
out of
shot. It's
You're
all
out of
good.
shot. Oh, I wish I could have shown that.
You got what? Sorry? What did you say?
Indeed.
Right.
Oh, Giles. Giles, you can walk. You can walk. Because it's shooting here, so you can walk there. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, you
it's
can,
all
you're
good.
not in shot.
Do not
Because
fret.
You're not in shot.
No
You're
problem,
fine.
No problem.
It's
Don't
all
worry.
right.
It's actually
Don't worry.
causing more disruption
Yeah.
saying sorry than it is just walking through.
32 degrees today.
30? Is it 32?
32. I just checked on the
That's
thermometer
that's
over
my
there.
waist.
When?
Well, it's what day is it? It's Thursday today. Thursday it is exactly around 13:20.
So we are sitting out in the midday sun like mad dogs and Englishmen. You'll notice we don't have a mad dog or an Englishman. We've got Derek with us today.
Yeah.
Hello, Derek.
Hello.
Hello,
Welcome.
Derek. And we are at Villas Blancas, which is where we've been staying. Which is we thought we'd give them a bit of free advertising.
We'll tag everything in there
Yeah,
later. We'll tag
exactly
everything.
right. Exactly. Are you enjoying your holiday?
I am enjoying my holiday. I love this holiday. Every time I come.
We do have to find things to be grumpy about. I'm going to kick us off today because I heard two people.
Well, can I just give you one
Oh, go on
right
then.
now? 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
So 5 minutes ago, Mark said we're going to do another episode. Well, okay, I need to go and get a shirt on.
Yeah.
When I put a clean shirt on,
And then you spilt a drink down it.
charging up the microphone so that they didn't give out halfway through. And somebody said, "Would you like some melon?" Yes,
What?
of course, I'd love some melon. So I'm saying, so I've got melon juice down, not jizz, melon juice.
Melon
down,
juice.
down me.
That's not grumpy. That's clumsy.
But it made me grumpy.
It made him
because I
grumpy.
was like, this was.
That's the thing.
Yeah, anyway.
Clumsiness cross.
Two of the really grumpy ones were talking up at the other pool, and I was earwigging,
Yes.
overhearing.
Yes.
But they don't want to appear on camera, so they won't do it themselves. They were talking about young people doing something. No, not you. Doing something called silent walking, which apparently this is a big new trend where young people go walking
Don't talk.
without their phones, without earbuds, without any so they're actually just walking without any electronics.
How
Called silent
unnatural.
walking. I mean,
How
God, like we
unnatural.
did it for thousands of years.
Yes, until 1995.
Yeah,
we did
pretty
that.
much with the
Yeah.
iPod. Yeah.
I love the
Or 80s with the Walkman.
Actually, I love the fact that you said about young people. So, I don't know if I call this grumpy or not, but how do young people address their elders today?
Oh, that's a whole positive minefield.
Right.
I don't know. How do they address their elders?
Yo,
Yeah.
I think it's easier to tar all youngsters into,
Oh, of course
into
it
one category, but
actually
there's some very respectful
Yeah.
youngsters out
there are some
Um,
very respectful.
but for
I
instance,
do agree there.
I don't
Yes.
like going into a shop and being served by a 20-year-old who calls me mate. I'm not your mate. I am
Yes.
sir when I am buying
Yes.
something
Mm.
from
Do you know what's
in
even
a
worse
shop.
than that? Is the manager doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I've never
absolutely.
even got to see the manager. You guys are lucky blokes.
Oh no, you just got to say, if you're not happy, so get your manager out here, tell him I want to have a word with him.
You were telling me, Derek, about complaining because your culture doesn't normally complain, and
We
I've
don't- we
suggested
don't-
to you that you need to complain. What
Well,
what should you be
well, the-
complaining about?
Well, the thing is, when we walk into a restaurant,
Yeah.
we pay top money for service, right?
Yep.
And the first thing
Well,
that
I
comes to
don't.
our mind, the first thing that comes to our mind is that we don't deserve top service because we're just there to eat, and then you just eat and get out.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Where are you eating?
What kind of places?
Shithole. Anyway, when we get, when
We eat in obviously much classier places.
Oh, thank you. If I can afford it, yes. And that's another thing I'm grumpy about. Okay.
We're all grumpy about that.
We won't get into that. We won't get
Stay
into
on,
that.
stay on food, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
still
food
need-
in
I
the
still-
restaurant.
I still need a job when
Yep.
I get back. Right. So the food comes around,
Mhm.
and there is just something about service with service people. They're just not happy in their jobs.
Ah,
Well,
See,
I'm not
I'm
surprised
grumpy.
they're not paid enough.
Is that the real truth?
But well, I think it is because some cultures very much rely
Okay.
on tips,
Okay.
and others just rely on being paid slightly more.
And you've touched on something that I am very, very grumpy about. Why do people take jobs that they are not happy to be in?
Because they can't get any other jobs, presumably.
well, okay. So there's
Just because you've got a PhD
That's
It's
not
like-
the point.
My theory is
That's
that
not
when
the point.
people, my theory is when people start a job that they end up not happy in,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
job hasn't changed.
Yeah.
They have.
What's happened is the people that they work for make the job unbearable.
Yeah.
So therefore they take less interest in that. So for example, if you go to, we'll use the McDonald's
Okay.
scenario here in our UK and versus America.
Yeah.
People are far more happier in their role at McDonald's in
Yes.
America than they are in the
Yep.
UK.
Is that
And
true?
that's
Oh yeah.
absolutely,
right.
that's because of the culture is McDonald's is not just a job. Working for
It's a
McDonald's
way of life.
is a way of
Yeah, yeah,
life.
exactly.
It's a steady
But-
career. It's got progression.
It's exactly the same thing when you do theme parks, which is why
Mm.
Disney would never open a theme park
In the UK,
Britain.
no.
But you see it at Disneyland Paris, for instance. Disneyland Paris versus Disneyland in
Very
America,
different.
they're grumpy as
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
with you
Yeah.
in
Yes.
Disneyland Paris.
Yes.
And yet they're supposed to be all smiley people, and that you go.
Yes.
But the food servers in the American one are really jolly because that is a
Their culture,
service
yeah.
culture.
And also,
What, to be rude to you?
no. But if we're talking about,
Well, it is
if we're
France,
if we're staying on restaurants,
I love
again,
Yeah.
the American diner experience and the UK motorway service stations were very different because out there, a lot of their earnings are based on the tipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So therefore, the better they are at their job, the more the culture is to tip more and more and more.
Absolutely.
Whereas in the UK, we try and get out of tipping
Or tip as little as possible.
and tip as little as
We're trying to get
possible.
out.
So whilst we have a better starting pay, they have no means of generally earning much more money. If there was an incentive because
Yeah.
we had that same culture of tipping, then they might be better at it.
So which means what you're saying is all this grumpiness started because of the system.
Maybe, but I'll
Possibly.
give you another example. When we arrived here a week and a half ago, the first thing Mark did was went and put 50 euros behind the bar and said, "That's for you guys,
Yeah.
because we'll forget at the other end when we leave."
Yes.
That's now guaranteed us when we walk into
Got
the
much
bar.
better service. I mean, they're great service anyway.
But when
Yeah,
we walk
but-
into the bar,
And they go, "Oh, guys."
absolutely.
It's like, yeah, very much.
But
I think that's it. I think
and
that's
likewise
important.
with the
cleaning,
housekeeping, we
housekeeping,
did
yeah.
exactly the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
They've never questioned when we wanted extra towels. They've
No,
they've
Put sweets on the pillow.
sweets on the changed
Well,
the
I
bed
got
when I
sweets on the
vomited.
pillow.
Oh, did you? Oh, you
I did.
sweets on the pillow. Well, that makes me grumpy.
Good.
What?
Apparently, I'm not special after all.
There is no such thing.
No,
as
but we
special.
got extra sweets.
Oh, that's
We
all
got
right
extra sweets.
Depends on what definition of special you
Do
mean.
you agree with me
Yeah.
about restaurants, hotel
Tipping
staff,
beginning.
tipping? The whole thing is that's my theory anyway. It's my theory.
And well, tipping should come from the heart. Tipping is
because
I-
you want to.
because I want to.
Yeah.
Right. And we were just talking about something about half of the world's diseases would be gone,
Oh,
and
yeah.
half the
Well-
world's grumpiness would be gone. It's just people.
I don't think disease. I think diseases is the wrong word. I think the world's ills, the world's bad stuff. If everyone was nice to each other, then half of that would just disappear overnight. But you're never ever. I mean, that's living in cloud cuckoo land.
Yeah,
to be
that's
fair.
true. Well, then comes back to people not happy in their jobs.
Yeah.
If people are not happy in their jobs, how are they gonna? There's your cycle there.
Absolutely.
Right?
There also comes a point where when you accept a job, it's probably because it was the only job in your area that you could do based on the hours, based on the
Yes.
location.
Based
So
on
you-
your qualifications.
You
Right?
see,
Yeah, yeah.
this is something that where I come from, and
bright.
if, of course,
I did warn you.
I'm already baking.
Woo!
Okay.
We
I
had,
am,
we
well,
had
it's
a,
a bit-
huge discussion
bit
before I
sweaty.
pressed record saying this is going to
Should
be
we do it
too
in the
hot.
real heat of the day? I know, but
No.
So where I
13:20.
come from,
which is
we never Malaysia.
Mhm.
Malaysia.
love,
hey,
love Malaysia.
Oh, I thought you were from
Lovely.
London.
Not originally.
Not original.
Okay.
But
I did.
this culture of complaint doesn't exist
I love you.
because when we are taught if we complain,
Yes,
we are
it is
the,
very different, isn't
we,
it?
are,
Yeah.
we are the bad person.
Whereas, well,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
so you're
In-
saying
in my
Tri-
culture,
TripAdvisor would never have started in Malaysia then?
Well, I don't know, but there is TripAdvisor in Malaysia.
No, but there is that feeling sometimes. Oh, am I making
I'm making a fuss.
a fuss?
A
and I
mountain
should-
out of a molehill.
Am I wrong
Yeah,
for
yeah,
making
yeah.
a fuss, or are they wrong for not
So-
realizing
so-
that I'm?
so-
I've never really thought that.
So
I
the
don't
way
mind
that I've been
complaining.
brought up is never complain about anything. You whatever hand that you're dealt with,
Yep.
you make the best out of it. You push through and you make the best out of it.
So I wonder whether we have any subscribers from Malaysia then, because if
Well, I hope so.
a grumpy podcast wouldn't be very
Oh,
useful to
Interesting.
them.
Tell us where you're from in the little notes. At the
And
bottom.
if you're from Malaysia, give a shout out to me.
Oh,
please.
absolutely.
I would like to know
I've
if
got-
you are
You
grumpy.
probably know
I've,
Derek.
I've got one more. So I've been dealing with emails this week,
Uh-huh.
and I keep getting people's out of office response. I should be out of office because
Yes.
I'm bleeding holiday,
Yes.
but I'm doing work,
Yes.
and I keep getting, and I don't like out of office.
Yes.
Is your out of office on?
No.
Is your out of office on?
It's on and it's very detailed.
Actually-
so I make other people grumpy.
The only out of office I have is on WhatsApp. But that's on constantly.
okay.
At certain hours, it kicks in to say,
Right.
I'll be in contact with you.
Of
on the
course.
next
But
one.
but in all honesty, so I lecture in the university.
Mhm.
In all honesty, it is term time, so I need to have my out of office.
That's fair.
on. Yeah,
That's
so-
fair. Talking of emails, though, I know for a fact that you have 51 unread emails. This one, and makes me grumpy, and it also triggers me a little bit, has got something like 37,000 unread emails. How can you live with yourself?
It comes to a point where you just check that day's emails and
What if you've missed something amazing?
well, no, because if you always check that day's emails, you don't miss anything. I just haven't deleted them
Why not?
because when I
Or hit.
when I first set it up, the
Yeah.
emails up because it's domain based.
Yeah.
It was server based and downloaded onto the phone. But
Yeah.
if you downloaded them onto the phone, the next time it synchronized, it re-downloaded them, and I just got into this vicious cycle of removing them.
Could you?
I know. I need to.
Could you
go
not hit mark all read? So the little red dot that says 37,000
Oh, yeah,
unread
Yeah, I
emails.
could do that.
Doesn't that would make me feel better?
Do you know what makes me
Looking
grumpy?
at your
You know
phone.
what makes me grumpy? People who don't read their emails for the details that is in there.
Oh, so you've given them a specific task,
I've given
and
them
then
a
they
specific
don't.
task.
Yeah, well, that's
And
true.
That's me.
and the,
Is that
and the
you?
best thing is, okay, you're supposed to do this at this date. You're supposed to do this at this date. Right. 1 week later, they come back and the deadline is looming. So what am I supposed to do again?
Yeah. Plus, there's also the one where they've sent you that you're talking about details in emails, where they've sent you an email, but they have copied and pasted it, so the detail is actually wrong, or it's missing in that line, and
it
it
gets
says
propagated.
date to arrive, and there's no date actually in,
And-
and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. So people just don't read their emails. They're not particularly paying attentive to their email details.
Yes.
Mhm.
And everything gets lost, and then at the end of the day it's just a whole bunch of confusion, and we have to run through the whole process again, and it becomes, oh, you know what, there's one thing, sorry, I have ADHD brain.
Suddenly,
We
boom.
should talk about ADHD, by the way. Yeah, because it is a condition, and
It's very real. Yeah.
and sometimes I just jump from topic to topic, right, and it does.
Sorry, as soon as you get boring, we'll shut you up. Don't worry.
Thank you. See,
Ah,
I just lost my train of thought.
No.
I just lost my train of thought. What am I trying to say? Shoot. I just lost my train. Yes, this is it. When we tell people to do something, or when we encourage people, I
Yes.
can't use the word tell people these days.
Encourage. No.
Right.
Okay.
I have to encourage people
Yes.
to do things. It always comes back to me with I don't know what I'm going to say now. I am so sorry. I am
That's
so
all right.
sorry.
That is-
Just got-
I am so sorry. This is the ADHD. I'm
How'd
so
you keep two idiots in suspense?
sorry. I just did it.
Yeah, that's the gag. That's the
I just
gag.
did- I
line.
just
That's the
did
gag.
And we always have to remember,
Yep.
with everything in comedy, it's all around
Timing.
Timing. So my timing was perfect.
Can I just say, by the time you watch this, we'll be back at home in the dismal UK.
Yeah.
But we're going to do several more episodes in the sunshine so that you
prolong
can
it further.
enjoy sunshine
Yeah.
for even longer. I think we're probably done.
We'll
I
get-
think
we'll
it's
probably
because
get
I am
till
so
Christmas, yeah.
I am so sweaty right now. It's
Happy
like
sunny day wherever you are.
happy sunny day, and
Bye.
here, if not here.
Oh, bye.
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 Fucking hell, I'm sweating like a glass blower's ass.
Nice.